I'm missing something.
Oh, it's strap. It's one of those straps.
Strings, that's right.
Yeah.
Is your name Parsa?
Yeah.
Well, Parsa's right. I'm missing 3 strings, but I do not replace my strings until all of them get broken. Because what that does is force me to learn how to play in a different way. Anybody can play guitar. They learn to learn how to play guitar. You can get taught how to do that. I taught myself, but then it's harder to play the guitar when you don't have everything you need, right? Okay, well, this is one thing that is special to me. I got it about maybe 10 years ago now. It's my guitar. She has a name. All guitars should have a name. Boys name their guitars, girls' names, and girls name their guitars, boys' names. He didn't name it yet?
Yeah.
He needs to name it. You know what my guitar's name?
He named it a race car. He named it Skeleton.
It's named Skeleton? Great. My guitar's name is Gladys. Gladys was the only person in my dad's side of the family who was Italian. Her name was Gladys Piazza. And most of my family on my dad's side were French or German. So I named it after my great aunt Gladys, Gladys Piazza. Isn't that a funny name? You know what Mr. Mankey's guitar's name is?
I didn't know he had one.
Darling. Okay, this is another thing that's very important to me. And it may look like something you know, but it's not a cane. This is not used to be a cane. I don't use this to walk. I use this, Parsa, I need to talk, buddy. I use this when I paint. Doesn't that sound weird? Here's what happens. Let's say I was painting my couch, which I did. Let's say I was painting my couch, and this spot right here is really wet, but I really needed to work on that spot. And I didn't want to lay my hand in the wet paint. I can take this stick, lay it on something that's not wet, and then rest my hand on the stick. And artists have been using that for this kind of thing for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's called a maul stick. M-A-H-L. It's a maul stick. Now, any kind of stick could be used for a maul stick. I got this stick when I was walking with Mr. Mankey through the swamp, the Congaree Swamp. And it was on the ground. It was a branch that was broken off of a tree, and the branch had been wrapped around by a vine that had our state flower on it, the yellow jessamine. And the tree kept growing even though that vine was getting tighter and tighter. And when the branches on the tree fell off, I found it, I cleared the bark off and put some oil on it so it would stay nice. And now I use it when I paint. And when I paint, one of the most important things to have is a what?
Paintbrush.
Paintbrush. Now this is the kind that a lot of students will use. These bristles on it do not come from an animal. These are plastic type bristles. I've got bristles on some of my brushes made from hair off of a squirrel's tail. I've got bristles on some of my brushes made from camel fur and even some horse fur. Isn't that great? I've got a bristle brush with bristles on it that Mr. Mankey brought back from China, and the hair on it came from a horse all the way from China. Isn't that cool?
That's very cool.
Now, another thing that's important, obviously, to all teachers in the lower school is this. What is this? iPad.
My guy has the black one too.
Now, my iPad has a special background, or wallpaper they call it.
Paint on it.
My wallpaper